Have you ever wondered what the world was like before the Great Flood? This is one of humanity's greatest mysteries. What was Earth like before that catastrophic event that changed everything? Could ancient civilizations have had knowledge so advanced that it would still amaze us today? And what about the climate, geography, and way of life of the people? Every aspect of this lost era is surrounded by intriguing questions. What was the climate like back then? Did Earth have a completely different environment from what we know today? Was there a perfect climate stability, without the seasons as we experience now? And how about geography? Were continents, rivers, and oceans arranged differently? Perhaps there were lands now submerged or mountains that had yet to rise. What about culture and technology? Could pre-flood societies have had such an advanced level of knowledge that it might rival our own? And what about spirituality and morality? What led humanity to such a state that God decided to intervene in such a drastic way? If you want to understand this fascinating topic, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. This helps us bring more amazing content to you. Now, let's explore this great mystery of the past together. The fascinating longevity of pre-flood humanity. One of the most intriguing aspects of the pre-flood world was the astonishing longevity of its people. The Bible tells us that the first humans lived for centuries, something that seems impossible today. For example, Adam lived 930 years, Genesis 5 verse 5. Methuselah, the longest living man recorded, reached an incredible 969 years, Genesis 5 verse 27. Noah was 600 years old when the flood began and lived up to 950 years, Genesis 9 verse 29. But how was this possible? One of the most popular theories suggests that before the flood, the earth was covered by a thick water vapor canopy, forming what many call a vapor chamber. This structure might have shielded the earth from harmful solar radiation, slowing the aging process, created a greenhouse effect, maintaining a stable, humid, and life-friendly climate, increased oxygen levels and atmospheric pressure, providing significant health benefits to both humans and animals. This perfect environment could explain the extraordinary longevity of early humans and even the gigantic size of some prehistoric animals. Imagine a world where everything was bigger, more vibrant, and healthier. When the flood came, this vapor canopy likely collapsed, releasing a massive amount of water and drastically altering the Earth's climate. Temperatures became more extreme, seasons emerged, and human longevity began to decline progressively. This event marked the beginning of a new era in human history, where life's fragility became much more apparent. Some researchers also suggest that the longevity and physical vigor of these early humans could be attributed to a nutrient-rich diet and an environment free of modern pollution and diseases. A deep connection with God. Before the flood, humanity's relationship with God was described as much more direct and intimate. The Bible mentions several figures who had explicit communication with God, as if the divine presence was a tangible part of daily life. Adam spoke with God in the Garden of Eden before the fall, Genesis 3 verses 8 to 10, in a relationship marked by closeness and trust. Noah received detailed instructions on how to build the ark, Genesis 6 verses 13 to 22, demonstrating a constant dialogue with the Creator. Enoch walked with God so closely that he was taken by God without experiencing death, Genesis 5 verse 24. This direct contact may indicate that humanity had a much higher spiritual sensitivity at that time, a connection that may have diminished over the centuries. The mysterious Nephilim. One of the most debated mysteries is the account of the Nephilim. Genesis 6 verses 1 to 4 describes how the sons of God took the daughters of men as wives and had children with them. But who were these sons of God? There are two main interpretations. Fallen angels. They may have taken human form and produced hybrids known as Nephilim, described as giants and mighty warriors with abilities beyond human comprehension. Descendants of Seth. They could have intermingled with the descendants of Cain, leading to humanity's moral decay and creating a corrupt and violent society. If the first interpretation is accepted, the Nephilim could have been an attempt to corrupt humanity genetically, distorting God's plan for creation. The presence of these beings and the influence of fallen angels might have accelerated the moral decline that led God to send the flood to cleanse the earth. Some ancient traditions mention that these beings possessed great knowledge and may have taught humans forbidden arts such as alchemy, astronomy, and magic. Advanced technology and lost knowledge. The pre-flood world was not only spiritually intense but also technologically advanced. Genesis 4 verses 20 to 22 mentions the descendants of Cain who developed specific skills, showing that humanity already mastered various arts and sciences. Jabal, the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock, introduced organized livestock farming and a nomadic lifestyle. Jubal, the father of all who play the harp and flute, indicates that music was already an essential part of human culture. Tubal-Cain, a forger of all kinds of bronze and iron tools, shows that metallurgy was at an advanced stage, far earlier than traditionally believed. These accounts suggest that humanity had already mastered metallurgy, music, and sophisticated tool-making long before what conventional archaeological records indicate. Some theories propose that the lost knowledge of these pre-flood civilizations may have influenced later cultures, such as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. Architecture might also have been extremely advanced. Some believe that mysterious megalithic structures around the world, such as the pyramids and Stonehenge, could have origins in pre-flood knowledge, preserved in some way after the catastrophe. In addition, ancient accounts speak of a civilization that mastered astronomy and possessed detailed maps of the skies and constellations, a remarkable feat for such a remote time. A society in moral decline. Despite all these impressive achievements, humanity fell into deep moral decay. Genesis 6 verses 5 to 7 describes the situation clearly. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Violence, corruption, and spiritual degradation dominated society, creating an unsustainable environment. The presence of the Nephilim and the influence of fallen angels may have further worsened the situation. The pre-flood society appears to have been marked by constant conflict, pagan cults, and practices that directly defied divine laws. This chaotic scenario was the tipping point for God's decision to send the flood. Lessons from the pre-flood world. The pre-flood world is a fascinating enigma that blends deep spirituality, surprising technological advancements, and overwhelming moral decline. It's a story that makes us reflect on what humanity is capable of building and destroying in its journey. What can we learn from the past? How can we avoid repeating the same mistakes that led to the destruction of that era? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. Share it with your friends and let us know in the comments what you think about the world before the flood. See you in the next video.